What's good, YouTube? It's your girl, Miss Golden 83, and I am here to do an all my love reading for the sign of Scorpio. Okay, Scorpio, you guys are last but not least on the zodiac lineup for Group 1. Hopefully, you guys are doing well. Remember, you guys, these are general messages, not personal. So take what resonates and pass the rest to the next. Okay. So this is, I'm really behind schedule in my opinion on getting these done, only because the energy has been pretty low, not in a bad way, but just in the sense of everyone centering themselves in the collective, per this month being about, mind, body, and spirit. And so hopefully you guys are doing the same thing and kind of maybe just looking over your life accomplishments, or things that you really need to work on, Scorpio, which has been the energy so far for you, since the beginning of the year, okay, and really last year, off and on in your readings, okay. But this is about intellectual love in a way, as far as between you and your person, but really going deep into yourself, and having an issue getting that one in there. I'm going to go ahead and hard shuffle so we can get into your reading to get this energy of where you are when it comes to love subconsciously. Okay, 3 shuffles here. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I truly appreciate everyone's patronage. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe so you can be notified the next time I do a reading for your sign. Okay? 3 shuffles. Cutting by 3. And then let's go ahead and get into it. Alright? 1 from the top, which is your energy. 1 from the bottom, which is the energy of the situation and or person. And then 1 energetically from the middle, which is the energy between you and the situation and or person. Okay, so if it's more situational, that means this is, it'll be primarily about yourself and what you need to fix when it comes to you. If it's a person, then you will feel that yourself. Okay, so let's see what's going on in your energy, Scorpio, which we have priorities. Okay, priorities. Priorities came up in Leo's reading as well. Okay, so you could have Leo in your chart, or dealing with a Leo. It's just an honorable mention. But I'm really feeling a strong energy of Leo in your birth chart somewhere that may be pertaining to love. There are a few placements that are close to that. It could be your 3rd house. It could be Venus. It also could be 7th. Okay. I'm working on something when it comes to the houses. I don't really read birth charts. But if you are interested in getting a birth chart, you can look on the community post that I have, and I suggested 2 to you guys, so that way you can kind of run your birth chart, so that way you can find out what placements you have. Okay, but it says you understand the paramount importance of manifesting love in all situations. Okay, now for you, Scorpio, it's a little bit different than what it was for Leo. If you want, you can go and check out Leo's reading to see what was pertaining to theirs. But because I'm trying not to pull too much of Leo's energy into your reading. But again, you may be able to relate to that reading. Okay. But for you, priorities is maybe, putting love last. Okay. Where others have put it first. Okay. Now, you doing it last means that it's really not a priority for you. It's more so self-love is a priority. Okay. than loving another person, okay? Now, maybe for you, Scorpio, it's about learning what you love about yourself in order for that to project to another person, okay? As you know, sometimes the saying goes, in order for someone to love you, you have to know how to love self. And so you prioritize yourself. You definitely love you, okay? But do you have the room to love another and to let another love you the way that they choose to love you, okay? Hopefully that makes sense. All right. Let's get into let's get into the person and or situations energy where they lie right now, and it's joy. Okay? Joy. All right? Now, Joy says, you delight in the love of life and bring a spirit of fun to all that you do. Okay? You delight in the love of life and bring a spirit of fun to all that you do. Okay? Now, I don't think this is about a particular person. I think this is based off of a version of yourself. Okay? You have the ability of having joy. Okay? When are you joyful? Ask yourself these questions. Okay? Really tapping into, again, with this priorities, in the sense of exercising your sacral and solar plexus chakras. Okay? Not so much about what you're passionate about, not your root chakra. I want you to stay in the realm of your solar plexus, sacral, and also your heart chakra. Okay? What brings you such imminent joy? Okay? In the sense of when you're to yourself, are you more joyful when you are to yourself, or are you more joyful when you're in a relationship? Okay? So, because you're able to bring fun and a spirit to things in all that you do. Okay? So, where is that joy? Where is that, laughter, that lightheartedness, things of that nature? Okay? It's either time for you to return to that, or remembering what kind of brings that about for you. Okay, Scorpio? Hopefully that makes sense. All right. Let's get into the energy between you and the situation and or person, which I think is more of a situation than a person for you guys. Okay. Trust. Okay, trust. I will say trust is one of these cards that constantly comes out in these readings so far since I've been doing them. It says you have a strong connection to your soul's loving voice and have faith in your intuition. Okay, you have faith in your intuition because you use your loving voice. Okay, inner voice. Okay, so if that be the case, again, if you are thinking this month about, love in general, what is it that makes you trust a person? What can a person do to gain your trust? Okay, that may be a question that some people pose to you, maybe if you're dating, because they can feel or sense that you don't trust them. Maybe you don't give certain information. Maybe you've been blocking people out based off of following your intuition, in the sense of whether or not if someone is actually into you for all the right reasons and not surface level. Okay, so it's about trusting your instincts when it comes to that. Okay, now it could be in a sense of reevaluating a previous relationship that maybe you want to revisit, or just getting back into the scene or routine of things, of getting to know people, okay, of the opposite sex or just in general. Okay, more so trying to have platonic connections is where you might be, Scorpios. Okay, for some of you, not all. Okay, these readings are supposed to be for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Okay, so, but again, you could have another energy from another sign coming in because they have Scorpio in their chart. So hopefully you understand that, Scorpio, that you may be sharing your energy. All right. So right now we're going to see what is Scorpio focused on right now. okay? It could be something totally different from this top line. So if I lose you, I will catch you guys on the Heart's Desire reading, okay? Or you can stick around. I'd appreciate it if you did, and catch the last of your reading, okay? If you feel like fast forwarding, by all means, go ahead. Doesn't bother me. As long as you got a message from the reading, okay? Light shuffling to a hard shuffle. One shuffle. I'm going to go ahead and cut. Okay. And we're going to pull two from this deck. One from the top and one directly from the bottom. Okay. You can take both of these messages for yourself since this is primarily a situation. Okay. But take what, you know, really resonates with you. Okay. Whatever doesn't, you know what to do. Okay. So, first message is paradise. Okay. Paradise. Paradise says happiness, expansion, joy comes up again, playfulness, oneness, and enjoying each other. Okay. The most that kind of pulls me in with this card is happiness, expansion, and playfulness. Okay. And also maybe oneness as well, but that's like for a small few. Only in the sense of, again, if you're to yourself, you're not in a relationship, you're kind of enjoying yourself, not having to prioritize anyone but you and what you can control around you. Maybe you feel like a relationship is just too inundates you with too many things to do, or is a codependency of some sort. Okay, if you feel that, then you're doing the right thing and not being in a relationship. Okay. You're just doing the right thing, okay, because you're not ready for that kind of commitment. Okay, you obviously, if you're wanting to be with someone, you prefer to kind of be able to be your own individual person while being with someone. And that is feasible, that is doable, but you do have to eventually acknowledge that person. Okay, Scorpio? I'm just going to be real with you, okay? You can't just sit up there and ignore a person, a whole body, as if they don't exist, okay? Otherwise, that's how you want to be treated. And then when you're treated that way, you got a problem with it. That don't work around here, okay? So, but nonetheless, that's getting off the card, okay? The card says paradise, okay? And right now, you are in paradise because you are no longer either dealing or being in a relationship right now, or you are just, you know, really single-handedly wanted to deal with just yourself at this point, okay? And just have friendships. And that's fine. At least you are admitting to that, and that is probably where your joy is not having to feel like you have to tend to another person, okay? Now, I ain't gonna get into it, but let's go ahead and get into your next card, okay? Keys on a ring, okay? Keys on a ring. This one also kind of pops up from time to time in these readings. Many options, decision, unconventional, string along, and one night stand, okay? Now, if you are in your shadow self, in the sense of, or thinking or misconceiving joy for shadow self in having one night stands, I cannot help you here, okay? I'm going to be straight up, okay? Now, me personally, I have been to myself for the last, it's been a minute. It's been a minute. I have been to myself since, I think it's been like 3-4 years. Since 2021. Since 21, okay? Since 2021. And so I don't believe in stringing people along. That's not my vibe. You got to be careful with that, okay? Do not make people invest if you don't want them to invest, okay? If you want to just have friendships and you're now in the situation of trying to decide something, okay, with someone, then stay to yourself and make a decision on whether or not if you want to entertain the possibility of a relationship while still telling them that it's not serious. Okay, you're not ready to have a serious monogamous relationship with the person, then just come out and tell them that, Scorpio. Don't string them along. Okay, it's just rude. Okay, because that if you're implying for someone to really go all in on you, then that's what's going to happen. Okay, and you cannot do that to someone. That's just not fair. Okay, because it will blow up in your face eventually if you allow it to go there. Okay, and so be happy to yourself. Set the boundaries to start, period. Okay, in the sense of letting someone know from the jump, hey, I just want a nice platonic friendship, no intimacy, no none of that. Learn me as I allow you to, thus this trust. Okay, trying to see where someone is coming from with it. That's the best way to handle that type of situation. Okay, than to string someone along, making them think that you want to have something serious with them when you have multiple other options or aren't even interested in a long-standing relationship. Spreading, and I talk about this a little bit on the channel as need be, as it resonates or relates to the situation of the reading, is about energy transference. Okay, you can be or end up putting some karmic or toxic energy on another person by knowing what your intent isn't with that person. Okay, if you're not planning on doing anything with them and you're dating somebody for a month to 3 months and they really start getting into you, even without any kind of intimacy going on, and it's just surface level, then you've got a problem on your hands. Okay, someone who's ready to attach themselves to you in 3 months time, you need some space. Okay, some understanding of this is just we're in the friendship phase. I like hanging out with you. You seem to have a good vibe, but as far as a relationship, that's where you draw the line. Okay, make that clear, Scorpio. If you don't, you start adding on some karmic debt. Okay, because you're sharing your energy with someone who's accepting it as a probability of more later. Okay, I cannot stress that enough. Okay, so if you make it clear to on the jump, then you don't have to worry about it later on. Okay, they will know their role with you. Okay, so if that means stop going into the movies and little fun shit like that with this person who now thinks you their man or their woman, and then you like, wait a minute, when did that happen? I just started dating you like for 3 weeks. That's on you, Scorpio. You can't be mad at nobody but yourself. Okay, now we're going to get into the next part of the reading. Because y'all know how I do with y'all Scorpios, and I'm trying to make it as short as possible with these readings. Clear cut and dry. What is the outcome of the energy for Scorpio? Again, this may jump into a totally different set of Scorpios, or into the set of Scorpios that know what I just said and are really looking to maybe connect with a particular person. Okay, as far as maybe you realizing you do need to prioritize or change some things in your life, but you just don't know how to, and if a person is available. Okay, so I'm going to get into a hard shuffle here with this last deck for Scorpio. Three shuffles, just because the energy is super thick from that middle section. Okay, all right. And so again, we go one from the top and one from the bottom. And as far as one night stand situation goes, Scorpio, honestly, I hope you are strapping it up and being very, very, very safe and protective of yourself. Okay, We don't want nobody out here catching nothing, okay? I'm just saying. I just had to get that off. Now, let's go into, again, you can do the same thing. This is pretty much for you. Again, with religious factors. Scorpio, this came in for you guys before, okay? Your love is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path, okay? Now, if that is what is bothering you the most with your person, okay? Again, we talked about this. I think it came up in your reading before. It came up in Pisces before. It came up, I think, in Leo's before. Honestly, it's just stretching across everyone, okay? If you had an upbringing of being in the church, just because someone isn't in the church, and I'm just speaking to those who are older, or if you have older energy around you that's like, that person's a heathen if they don't go to church, or a devil spawn, or whatever the case may be, you have to not let religious factors get in the way of the potential of you finding the love of your life, okay? If someone is more spiritual than they are religious, it does not mean that they don't believe in a higher power. I grew up Baptist, okay? And pretty much all of my family, both sides, my maternal grandmother was a deaconess. My grandfather, maternal grandfather, he was a bishop. And I had other family members that definitely were active in the church. I, of course, as a child, had to partake in going to the church. I was part of the church choir, when youth choir. I went to Sunday school up until my mom got divorced. After she got divorced, we didn't go to church anymore. It was then televangelism. I said my prayers nightly, even at dinner, run them like nobody's business. That does not mean, as of now, I am spiritual. I believe in a divine power, a Holy Spirit. All of these words are in the Bible, okay? Now, that does not mean that I'm any less, religious. Now, I don't quote scripture. I really don't. I don't believe that's necessary for someone, to know someone's heart, okay? Someone's heart is not based off of religion, okay? It's based off of who they are as a person. Because if that person still acts in a way that is godly, or by God's, nature or creation, then why are you so fixated on what their upbringing is as far as faith is concerned, okay? Now, if someone's sitting up here wearing, who knows what, drinking blood and all that crap, then yeah, you might want to not introduce them to your family, okay? Now, with that being said, that's as far as I'm going to go with it, okay, Scorpios? Now, let's get into your second message, okay, which is calling in your soulmate, okay? Calling in your soulmate. It says your prayers, affirmations, and visualizations help bring you together, okay? Calling in your soulmate, okay? So basically what you are doing at this point, Scorpio, is you are praying or manifesting, okay, your soulmate to come to you, okay? In the sense of being on the same level, same accord. So obviously this could be someone who's already in your vicinity, Scorpios, or someone in which you're kind of getting to the point of knowing what it is that you want when making decisions, okay? So if you've had some, unconventional run-ins with different people, but there were certain things that you liked from each and every one of them, then that means you are building your ideal person when it comes to love, okay? Religious factors probably, play a part in it, but I really do not suggest you make that the overall, deal breaker when it comes to your soulmate, okay? So with that being said, Scorpios, that is all that I have for you guys today. We do have one more reading for group 1, so until then, peace.